Yo, what up guys, it's Hydrogen, and today's video is going to be a little different. I'm going to try to do a commentary this time because someone in the comments last video said they wanted me to do it, so here I am, going to do a commentary on solo queuing in Teams Normal. So let's hop into the first match here, and we're on Strata, which is a great map for people who don't actually realize how balanced this one is. But yeah, today's topic is going to be something that I can personally talk about, and that's how the Skywars community has changed. So just I guess a pretext for the future of my channel and these types of videos, I'm going to be trying to talk about like concepts or ideas that are sort of interesting to me instead of just talking about the gameplay and telling you guys how I'm opening this chest and gonna bridge, because that's pretty boring as it is, and I can see how people get sick of commentaries over time. I mean, unless you have a good story each time. God, commentaries sort of get boring in my opinion without a main focus. But yeah, if you don't know me, I was a Skywars player who started around 2016. And the game modes that I mostly played back then, oh god, these guys are pushing me. Let's see if I can loot in time. Yeah, the main game modes that I played back then in 2016 were Solo Insane, because that's what was YouTube content, I guess you could say at the time, and I genuinely enjoy the game back then. So that's a little about me. Let me KB these little children off before I get back up here. But yeah, going into the first point, I guess, about the community in 2016, one of the most known things, I guess you could say, was the sense of community and camaraderie among people. Wow, this guy's nutty. The sense of camaraderie among people, right? People back then, oh, this guy's getting to work. So people back then, you know, played the game to have fun, and the content and YouTube scene really reflected that atmosphere of enjoyment. Okay, and I'll give you some more examples along the way, but I feel like some of the things that you would see that were commonplace back then were people messing around in Solo Insane, building houses, having a good time, what's it called, saying hi to people, and it was pretty fun to play back then, I'm not gonna lie. I had my fair share of messing around with my friends back then, and, you know, finding duos partners in solos games, and, you know, actually having a great time. And if you took a genuine look at YouTube back then, ooh, free kills, thank you. Oh, you stole it. Yeah, so if you took a look at YouTube back then and see the content that people put out, you would notice that it mostly surrounded commentaries and challenges, in a sense. You'd see huge YouTubers back then, and I'm talking Tapple, I'm talking Technoblade, CMJ, really, um, the list goes on. Tabor, right? You still see them today. They just don't post as much. Acidic Blitz is another one. Anyways, the content that they put out was great for the community, and I feel like it was one of the most remarkable aspects of the time, being that it was a significant part of how people saw their, I guess you could say, role models and wanted to act like them. I mean, everyone wanted to be the next Technoblade and what's it called, Code Crazy and Solo Normal. I mean, sorry, Solo Insane, and have a good time talking about random stuff like he did back then. But anyways, another part, I guess you could say, is the mindset that people had back then. And when I'm talking mindset, I'm talking about, I guess, the individual perception towards the game and how people approached it. That, in a sense, that was unique back then. And when I'm talking unique, I'm talking that people played back then to have fun. It was a new game at the time. It was, you know, the hot stuff. It blew Mineplex Sky, what's it called, Hunger Games out of the park. It was the new stuff that everyone wanted to play. And when these new games come out, what's it called, no one knows what they're doing. And that sense of not knowing what you're doing really drives how much someone enjoys the game, right? And I'm not going to make the comparisons to other games, but it's a pretty, it called, clear trend that no one knew what they were doing back then, and that it was more fun to play amongst idiots like yourself. Let me put on this guy. Instead of actually knowing what you're doing, right? There were very few players back then who already had that great game sense and established their dominance in the community. But yeah, I guess you could say that the concept of people playing to have fun and make friends, not to be corny, was the main focus of it. Oh wow, we got a lot of friends here, and they're all on different teams. This guy's nutty, and this guy's nutty, but he's dead. Let's go. We win these. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, this map again. That's kind of disgusting. But yeah, people played back then to have fun. People would build houses. You could easily meet people, and it was overall a great time to play in. Fast forward a couple years to what is it, 2021 now? So it's been about 5 years since I first started playing. The atmosphere, man, it's completely changed. You can see it in the content that people put out compared to back then, and the mindset that people have. So first of all, I mean, if you look at the YouTube scene right now, the difference that it had, but I guess compared to 2016, was the levels of engagement that the YouTubers had with the community, right? You could say hi to the people, what's it called, on the YouTube scene, like Tabor and Tapple. You would see them in lobbies, and you would see them engage with people and say hi to you. Right now, while there's not a lot of quote-unquote larger YouTubers, there's no individual that really sticks out of the crowd who makes content and interacts with people, right? It's sort of like an ego thing in a sense. Oh wow, hi teammate. Yeah, it's sort of like an ego thing that I've noticed. People don't really want to communicate with other people, and they're more driven. Ooh, let's go. I snipe. Yeah, people are more driven on focusing on themselves, right? And when people do this like full time and dedicate themselves and their playtime to getting their stats up, which is another big thing I want to talk about, it sort of takes away from the whole community aspect, right? If you see today, what's it called, and ask most players, I assume that people grind to get good stats, right? And that's not a controversial goal because it's something genuine that they want. But back then, no one really did that, and the people who did do that weren't as toxic, you could say, compared to the people in 2021, right? There's the mentality back then. I mean, the mentality now is what's it called? You're playing to prove to yourself. Oh, sorry, teammate. I was hitting at you. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Please, don't kill me. Hey, no shot. That guy killed me. No shot. But yeah, the mentality right now in your games is that you're proving to other people that you're better than them, and you're trying to prove to yourself that you're a good player, right? If you really think about it, this is the psychology that's going on in 2021. Back then, no one compared themselves to other players. You compared, I guess you could say, yourself to YouTubers because they were the prominent people back then. But I mean, today the world's more connected, and you're going to see players who are better than you, and you want to beat them, right? It's a natural instinct, but it takes away from the community aspect. People took the time, I guess you could say, to enjoy the game. I think I saw a tweet about this before, but I had the same, I had common ideals. If people took some time out of their day to actually enjoy the game, oh man. Yeah, so I just find it interesting that people act this way and haven't noticed it in themselves before. Oh, sorry teammate. And I think it's an interesting idea to share with you guys. Alright teammate, hope you enjoy that football. I don't really know what I'm doing right now, but I kind of want to talk about how the content has changed, right? When you see today's videos, what do you see? You see keyboard and mouse sounds, you see barely, I guess, commentary videos on random topics, or just like the individual playstyle of the game. And you see like I guess, ranked montages of people destroying quote unquote good players, right? See, when people put that in the title, I mean, I'm not judging you because I would probably do the same because it's funny. I'm just pointing out that when people do that, you're showing that you're proving to other people that you're playing to you're playing to create content that shows other people that you're good at the game, right? I guess that's something that I pointed out, and I'm guilty of doing that too. Not gonna lie. To call, there's nothing wrong with being proud of someone you killed and putting them in a video because it gets views, right? I guess that's another thing to talk about in the future video. But anyways, hope you enjoyed that attempt at a commentary today and my thoughts on how sort of like the Skywars scene has changed a bit. One more thing, I think people are a lot more competitive in 2021, and yeah. Anyways, if you enjoyed that video, I'm not going to be cringe and say leave a thumbs up, but we're close to 400 subscribers from reviving this dead channel, and any support would be appreciated. Thank you.